People look at stories through different lenses. I have my own take on some of these trending issues. Hi, I'm Mariah Ramharack and welcome to In Case You Missed It. Hello, I'm Mariah Ramharack and welcome to another episode of In Case You Missed It on SportsMax and Scene TV. With the CONCACAF Nations League in full swing, today's St. Lucia is the focus. Let's welcome former Trinidad and Tobago footballer and now head coach of the St. Lucia national team, Stern. John Stern, how are you?
Hi, afternoon. I'm good, thank you.
All right, happy to have you on. In case you missed it, I'll start by giving our viewers some background information. Where in Trinidad and Tobago are you from?
I'm from East Trinidad, Trinity, Sacramento area, close to the airport.
That's where I'm from. So maybe Sin and I are neighbors and we don't even know it. Well, you've been with the St. Lucia setup for quite some time. How have you adjusted to life and work in St. Lucia?
It's been fantastic. I think stepping into the St. Lucia club, obviously I had to fill the big shoes. Jamal Shabazz, he was the coach here before. And I think once I came in, I set my stall up and I asked the guys to act in a certain manner and play a certain way. And obviously I had to change the environment and the culture and towards the players working in as well too. So I think so far it's been tremendous. I think the guys have taken it on board and we've been doing really well so far.
Yeah, the results speak for themselves. Do you think because you were a former player that the players are very receptive to you?
I think that's good. Back in our days when we used to play, we had managers who couldn't demonstrate certain drills to you and certain skills, and obviously sometimes I still jump in and play the players every so often, and I think they respect you more as an ex-player, and when they see you can play the game. And also the coach as well too. I think the way you treat them and the way you look after them as players as well too, because at the end of the day, the players are much more important than myself.
Yeah, I know you're in Trinidad and Tobago right now. Do you visit often or only when you're not coaching?
Only when I can. I live in St. Lucia, and when we have a bit of a downtime, I try to go home and relax a bit. And obviously, I'm a big dog fan as well too. Some of my dogs here as well too, and my family as well too. So yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people are very, very proud of what the St. Lucia national team has been doing, Coach. For you, how has that experience been as head coach? Was it difficult, especially coming off another coaching job, settling in St. Lucia? Was it a tough one for you or was it easy?
I think it's always difficult going into a coaching job, especially as like I said, as a foreigner. But I'm from the Caribbean, but I'm from Trinidad and coaching a St. Lucian team, and obviously a lot of people going to ask the question why bringing in a Trinidadian to be a St. Lucian coach and different stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I think I'm a professional. I went into the job to make the team better. When the president hired me to do a job here, he told me to build a team that we can compete with the likes of Jamaica and Guadeloupe and Martinique and Trinidad and Tobago, and that's what we set out to do.
Yeah, and the results have been speaking for themselves. As I said, 4 matches, 3 wins, 9 points. What would you say sets this crop of players that you're tasked to work with? What sets them apart?
I think it's the environment as well too. I think I said earlier when I came in and I had to create an environment and a culture that the players will understand. I think we are in a professional environment and we have to change the culture in terms of the football culture around the football in St. Lucia.
Is it just the environment or is it a lot of talent that's present in St. Lucia?
Yeah, we have a lot of talent, but like I said, getting them to play in that environment on a day-to-day basis, what we were able to do. I think it's the first time in the history of St. Lucia that we're able to have a team that's training full time. I think credit to the FA and the president, they allow us to have our team in training full time, and we're getting ready for Nation League games. We're able to bring a couple of international players as well to play abroad, parents, guys who have St. Lucian parentage and grandparentage, bring them to play for St. Lucia as well, and they add to what we were doing in St. Lucia. And I think the team is going from strength to strength.
Yeah, and in the last fixture, unfortunately, the team suffered a 2-0 loss to Guadeloupe. Where would you say the team lost this one?
I think we were a bit disappointed. I think we were pretty organized for 45 minutes. I think Guadeloupe is, like I said, a pretty well-oiled machine team. They have been in a couple of Gold Cups before us, and I think they're really organized, and they're a team that played really well.
Yeah.
I think we went into the game with confidence, and we know we could get a result. But I think the first half was really well. We had to weather the storm and be organized and be professional. And I think the second half we kind of opened up and went to have a go at them. I think we'll probably lapsed in concentration. If I want to be critical, I think the penalty was questionable, but that's part of the game. We're not going to blame the ref. We have 6 more points to play for in the next window, and we look forward to doing that.
Yes, Stern, I'm interviewing you and I'm listening to you talk, and I'm wondering, what type of coach are you? So I'll probably figure it out after this question. What did you say to the team after the loss? Was it an aggressive meeting? Were you a bit stern, as your name, Stern John? Or were you just like, we made these errors, we have to pick ourselves up and move again?
I think we came a long way. From St. Lucia, we beat Guadeloupe in the first game in St. Lucia. We were able to go out there and match them really well too, physically, mentally, and tactically as well too. And I think the guys were disappointed, and that's how we've been growing in stature as a team, as a country as well too, to be able to compete with the big boys, as we say. I think a lot of the guys were disappointed. Myself was disappointed, but I think we have to deal with it in a particular way that we know we have 6 points to play for, and we can't kill ourselves because obviously we're disappointed with the result, but we have to move on as fast as we can. We have another window coming up in November, so we have, like I said, we have 6 points to get, and we need to go and get the 6 points.
So did you say that to them? What did you say? What were your words? Do you remember?
I don't remember my words, but I think I told them the football is a game of margins, and if we don't take our chances, and if sometimes it comes back to kicking the teeth, but like I said, we made chances, and we weren't able to create so many chances or to score so many chances. And Guadeloupe, they did that. But that is part and parcel of the game. We have like we said, we have another window to have opportunity to get to Nations League A, where we think we deserve to be. So hopefully we can do that in the next window.
Yes, and that next assignment, November 16, up against Incase and Nevis. What will you be doing and focusing on to ensure that your team is ready?
I think we have to focus on us. Guadeloupe were able to score 2 goals against us, so we tied with on the same points, but they have one goal better than us too. So we need to just go and enjoy the game and play that we are accustomed playing. Obviously we know we need a result. We need to win the game, but the game is not going to be won in the first minute of the game. We have to be patient and keep our discipline and be professional about it and get the result.
Yeah, and we also know, Coach, that in order for any head coach to strive and do well, they need to get support from players, support from FAs, support from the crowd. We can't stress how important support is. You touched on the FA, but I'm going to ask the question to you. How has the support been from the St. Lucia Football Association?
It's been tremendous. From the time I walked in the door, obviously I spoke to the president, Mr. Lennon Cooper, and he's like, he wants to win. He wants to get back to Nations League B and then to A. Obviously he wants to qualify World Cup as well too, but obviously it's a process. We have to build a team to get us back into the top level to compete against the bigger countries around the world. We've been doing that successfully. Like I said, it's a process, and we have changed the culture a lot around the football. And the FA has been supporting us tremendously. Like I said, it's the first time that a national team has been training full time. It was almost like a professional team, and we were able to base players, we were able to coach them properly and keep them in this environment that the international players are already in every day. So it's great, it's fantastic.
Yeah, really delighted to hear. So playing at home now and home in St. Lucia, how has the crowd support been, especially because the results have been in your favor?
Yeah, the crowd have been fantastic. Sometimes, the crowd there, we call them the 12th man, they can be a bit complacent if you're not doing well. And once the team is doing well, they get behind the team and they support the team. I think the support for the players have been really tremendous, and they get behind the team. So hopefully we can continue with that energy and that support and to get us over the line.
Yeah, and you are a former assistant coach of the Trinidad and Tobago senior men's team. Has it ever crossed your mind, or is it in the plans if the opportunity arises to one day coach the Trinidad and Tobago Soca Warriors?
I think as a player and as a fellow Trinidadian, you will always want to, and a coach as well, too, you always want to go back and coach a national team. But I think I'm ready for that yet. I think I have a contract with St. Lucia, and in Trinidad they have a national team, a coach as well too. So probably down the road I might be interested, but till then I have my work cut out with St. Lucia, so I'll try to focus on that as much as I can.
Yeah, really good answer, Coach. Well, TNT, one more about them. They came from behind 3-2 to beat Guatemala in their last fixture. What are your thoughts on how they've been performing this qualifier campaign?
Trinidad team, I think they've been performing really well. I know sometimes it's been a bit inconsistent, but that is football. For you, that are football and players. I think the managers went around his job, which is Angus. He's been doing really well, and he went about his job, and he's been doing a fantastic job. So we just have to support him. I think I know there's in Trinidad there's a 2-point-something million coaches or whatever like that, or 1-point-something million coaches. But we have to get behind the coach and support him and the players.
Yeah, you know it too well. I mean, you've played for the country, you've been an assistant coach, so you know it better than anybody else. What has been your biggest hurdle as a coach?
I think a lot of people think that because we were ex-players and we're going to coaching, I think we're not going to be successful. I think a lot of people are asking the questions because you guys think you're playing, you think you should be a coach. And I think that's one of my biggest hurdles. I think we understand the game, we go on to get our coaching badges, and we've been in that environment, and I think we are very good coaches as well too. So I think that's one of my biggest hurdles.
How much different is it as a coach versus your playing days?
Well, it's massively different. I think as a coach, you have to set the example. You have to be a professional, be a leader, be understanding. Almost like a social worker, you have to look after the players as much as you can, because at the end of the day, the players are much more important than we are. As being a player, you tend to be a bit selfish. You look after yourself and responsibility. You have to look after players and staff as well.
And not to forget, the coach always gets blamed and the coach always gets sacked before everybody else.
Yep. That's part of the job. That's part of the job again too.
Yeah, unfortunate. Well, you managed Anguilla from 2020 to 2022. Would you say those coaching stints have shaped you into the coach that you are today?
Yes, very much so. I think before I went to Anguilla, I was assistant coach to Dennis Lawrence at the Trinidad setup. Then I coached on the 17 level, which really came up for me to go and get my experience and to go and continue my coaching career. And I went to Anguilla, was able to go to Anguilla. Most of my friends was asking me, am I going crazy or whatever like that, but I think I had enough experience, and I know when I went to Anguilla, I know they weren't the top team in the world. They actually were the last place team in FIFA ranking. But I know I had to go and organize them and set them up in a way that they won't be battered again. And I think the last couple of months I was in Anguilla, I was able to do that, set them up in a way and they could compete and not be embarrassed. I think I left Anguilla in a decent place.
Yeah, and it's always good when you start something, you leave it better than you met it. So I'm happy that you feel like that, Stern. Now, in your playing days, you were a superstar. You played for the likes of Nottingham, Birmingham. Which was your favorite experience?
Well, I have so much love for these clubs that I play for, but I think my first club is actually in Nottingham Forest and Birmingham City as well too. Those are the two clubs that have a special place in my heart. Going to Forest as a youngster, after I made my debut, I made my name in the MLS as a top goal scorer for 2 seasons. I was able to go to the UK and play for Nottingham Forest, and it was a dream come true for me. Being able to leave Trinidad and went to the US and then end up in England playing for a top club in the UK is a dream come true.
Yeah, and you made your international debut for the Trinidad and Tobago national team in 1995 against Finland in a friendly at the Queen's Park Oval, and you scored 1 goal on that debut. Looking back at your days in the red, white and black, do you ever miss playing?
Of course, I do. I do miss playing. I think especially playing for your country and representing your country. I think is priceless. It's something that you can't put money on. I think after I think for myself, I was one of the players. Every time Trinidad called upon me, I used to come back home and represent my country. I think for me, it was an honor, it was a privilege to represent Trinidad and Tobago, especially after we got to the World Cup. It was very special to me as well too. So I guess all the hard work paid off in the end.
Yeah, and you mentioned that World Cup. I remember it. You are a vital player for the Soca Warriors, and you still remain the team's all-time leading scorer with 70 goals in 115 caps. Do these records ever matter to you? Have they ever mattered to you when you were playing?
No, I think now I'm retired and I'm looking back, I'm coaching. I would say I'm fully aware of it, but I think when I used to play, I just love scoring goals. Enjoy scoring goals to Trinidad and Tobago and representing my country. And I think for me now, looking back at this, I was like, wow, you scored a lot of goals. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of gymnasts I meet around the world and they interview me like, you really scored a lot of goals for Trinidad and Tobago and on the world stage as well too. So, like I said, as a player, I just love scoring goals. I mean, I train hard, I put the work in, but now you can look back and say, yeah, we done really well.
Yeah, and as we're doing this memory lane thing, I remember again, like it was yesterday, when the Soca Warriors qualified for the FIFA World Cup in Germany. You were a part of the team. Do you remember how you felt and what did that mean to you?
It meant the world to me. I think we qualified in Bahrain. Dennis Lawrence, Big Den, when I put a header and we were able to qualify. I think it was surreal, it's something that you dream about. You dream of playing for your national team, you dream of playing international football, and also you dream of going to a World Cup, and there you are on the verge of going to a World Cup as a footballer. I think a lot of good players around the world, they never had that opportunity, and we had the opportunity of going to the World Cup, and we done really well. I remember after we scored against Bahrain in the dressing room, the first person I called in the dressing room was my mom, because she was my biggest supporter, and I had to learn that we qualified for the World Cup, it was a fantastic feeling.
Yeah, and the serious question, Stern, what will it take to get the Soca Warriors back to that level of football where we're going to the World Cup, we're celebrating, the entire Trinidad and Tobago is rooting for you? What will it take?
Well, we just have to be patient. I think it's a transition. We have a number of young players coming through. I think when we used to play, we had a lot more international players playing for Trinidad and Tobago. And I think, don't get me wrong, I mean, it's a lot of work. I think when we went to the World Cup, we were the oldest team that went to the World Cup for Trinidad and Tobago. We were the smallest country, but also the oldest team. So we had to grind and really build a team to go to the World Cup, and it's not that easy. I think it's a lot harder than before. I think we'll have to go back to the drawing board and we need to produce more players like we used to. I think the international players need to come out and really play for the country like they should and represent the country.
Yeah, well, it's now time for the most exciting part of today's interview. It's what we call here rapid fire time. So I'll ask you a question and you say the first word or phrase that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Embarrass me now. I'm already stuck.
Okay, let's go. What do you love most about St. Lucia?
Weather.
Favorite international goal?
Mexico.
Greatest achievement so far?
Qualifying for the World Cup. Well, in football, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing well, faster than most of my guests. When you're not coaching, what are you doing?
Relaxing on the beach.
If you were not a footballer, what would you want to be?
I told my friend I want to be a police officer.
Oh, why? Okay, most beautiful country you visited?
It's too much to choose. I can't say.
This is what we get when you travel too much. Think about it. I'll give you like a few seconds. Just pick one. Beauty.
Australia's really nice. Australia's really nice too.
Okay. Yeah. Best thing about Trinidad and Tobago?
The culture.
What type of music do you enjoy?
All sorts of music. I have obviously I'm a coach now, so I have young players, so I listen to all types of music, all types of genre music.
Yeah. Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi all day.
Best advice that you have received?
From let's say to keep your foot grounded. Obviously, don't let your success go to your head. Obviously, at the end of the day, you're lucky enough to be in this position to get to do something that you love and you just enjoy it as much as you can.
Yeah, well, that was some good fun. I enjoyed that segment with you. But before you go, let's head across now to social media to see what the social media landscape has been saying about the St. Lucia national team. So these reactions you're about to see were after the loss to Guadeloupe, right? So Terry Finister said, very disappointed in our approach today. Can't say the result is a surprise. Let's see what else we have here. We had another reaction, DNQ Football. He said, yeah, I watched the first half and I appreciated St. Lucia would play on the counter, but I felt like they sacrificed all possession, invited pressure, and eventually that told. Anyway, still in a good spot in this CNL campaign. On to the next one. Coach, over to you. What do you say to these two social media reactions?
No, I think obviously the fans will be disappointed, but I think that over the course of the two games, I think if you tell us that we'll sit in this position coming into these games, I think we'll take it any day. I think we approach the home games because we have the fans behind us and we want to win the game, especially the home game. I think going out from home, I think a lot of people don't understand how good the opposition are. They are very good opposition, and we think that we have to be organized and be disciplined for 90 minutes. And I think we had a fair amount of good chances, but we just didn't take our chances. And that's the game. That's part of the game. Obviously, I know the fans are disappointed, but listen, the guys give their best. We're talking about two games in Spain in less than a week. There's a lot to ask for the players. We don't have a big squad. We have a small squad, and we're trying to get more depth in our squad, so we can compete and give players a rest so they can be able to play back-to-back games as well. Because playing back-to-back games at that level and that environment as well too. I mean, the second game we play at 3 o'clock in the hot sun. I mean, there's a lot out of the players, and I mean, our only recovery mechanism in the Caribbean is an ice bath. So I mean, there's a lot behind it too. I understand the fans are disappointed, and we will take it on the chin, but we have 6 points to play for still, and we look forward to doing that in the next window.
Right. We're thinking about the positives. So, Stern, it has been a pleasure chatting with you on In Case You Missed It. Best of luck at the rest of the World Cup qualifying campaign, and I'm looking forward to see St. Lucia continue to do well.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Well, folks, that's it from us for today. Be sure to like, share, and comment, and let me know how much you enjoyed today's interview. Goodbye for now.